Well, hello everybody. Hi, this is Rati of Creative Calling Coaching, back again with you live this week after a week up in Connecticut writing my book. And this is a week where I'm really addressing the do-it-yourselfers. Are you somebody who has to go it alone? We're going to look at that. And we're going to talk about why isolation is the enemy of success and delegation is the key to success. But first, I want to bring your attention to the description of this video. You'll see a link, and it is a link to talk about getting out of isolation, an intake form from my group coaching program. And I'm going to talk more about that later. But first, I just want to I think we need to talk about the content here a bit. I'm going to use a story to express this. I had a client a few years ago, Ellen, and she was a real lone wolf. She was a branding and marketing expert. She did it all. She was very proud of that. She did her own bookkeeping. She did her own marketing, of course, being a branding and marketing expert. She did all of her client intake, onboarding, note keeping, managing everything, every aspect of her business. And when she came to me, she was thinking about quitting. She was thinking about going back to as she called it, job, because she just couldn't take it anymore. Fast forward, she has 10 clients now, a full practice. She's enjoying it, and her clients love her. Back when she was doing everything herself, that was not the case. So how did we get there? Well, first I had to pry control out of her desperate little hands, because if you're somebody who is entrepreneurial, likes the idea of running your own business, perhaps you already do, chances are you like to be in control of things. I know I do. The idea of somebody else telling me what to do really does not appeal. However, that does not mean that you are simply in business by yourself, because you cannot be. Ultimately, the only way to scale is to figure out what only you can do and eventually do only that. So since Ellen was on the verge of some serious burnout, I had her write down all the tasks involved that only she could do. Now, certainly when you start a business, you're the top salesperson, so only she could have those types of intake conversations with clients. She needed to be the one to get the aesthetic of the client, understand the message of the client, help the client focus the messaging they were trying to get across. But the things that she did not need to do was take payments, do all the bookkeeping, onboard the client, create the contracts for the client, deal with all the scheduling every time somebody had to change their appointment. It was that kind of running around that created a lot of confusion and mistakes and double booking and so on. So once we figured out what only she could do, we started creating systems for the rest. And the way to do that, folks, the next time you're doing something that eventually you should be delegating, turn on Zoom and hit record and start speaking as you do it. Create instructional videos of the how-tos of your business. How to enter somebody into your CRM. How to fill out the template of a contract for a client, right? And you also have to have keys to the kingdom, have a password vault. So if you bring someone on, they have access to your sensitive sites like merchant processing and so forth, but they don't have the actual, they don't have any way of learning the passwords, right? Because trust, I know that's a big issue that keeps people holding on and doing things that maybe they shouldn't be doing. So every time you do something that eventually you'd like to have someone else do, the number one thing I would say, create a video. There's also a program called Loom, Loom. I had an administrative assistant who created a whole bunch of beautiful Loom videos on everything that I do, including outreach for podcast guesting. And I have a Google Drive document. It's a spreadsheet with a link to each of those tiny videos. So if inevitably, if you're in business for yourself, you're always hiring, means you're always firing, or people move on. You have a spreadsheet like that with all of these instructional videos. You are not having to reinvent the wheel and tediously train people over and over. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people don't want to delegate because they think it's faster to just do it themselves. This is the control freak's lie of all lies. I mean, if you think about it, if you take the time to set somebody up to do something for you, and as you do, you set up a system that's easy to teach. It's kind of like when you first learned how to use a computer. It took a while. Or you learn how to use a new software. It takes a while. Or you learned how to drive a car. It took a while. Would you trade those skills for anything now that you're able to do them? You can get around. You have independence. No. So it's, in terms of the currency of time, penny wise and pound foolish, not to spend the time creating systems that you can convey to a virtual assistant, for example. And to that end, sometimes people ask me, well, I don't know if I can afford anybody right now. I'm just starting my business. Well, if you go on Fiverr, for instance, you can find somebody to do your graphics for you, right? You could probably hire somebody 3 hours a week for $18 an hour. And if you do the math there and you think about how much your time is worth and how much time the 3 hours of someone else taking care of stuff for you is going to buy you back to focus on getting yourself out there to grow your business, you can't not do it. It's an investment you need to make in yourself. So in summation, do not be penny wise and pound foolish with your time. Start documenting your systems via Zoom or Loom and hire somebody for 3 hours a week. The best way to do that, you can go to their apps, Upwork, Indeed. But the best people I find come to me through my network. So just shake the tree of your network. Just find out, put the word out, say what you're looking for, and you'd be surprised who gets referred your way. So I hope that's been helpful. I mentioned earlier, since the theme is delegating, it's getting out of isolation, getting help. I mentioned the link in the description of this video for my group coaching program. We're having a ball. There's about 7 of us now. We still have room. It is the Passion to Profit Project. And it is designed to take you from A to Z with a goal that you have either not started or you can't seem to complete because you kind of lost the roadmap and you need some help figuring out how to get from where you are now to where it is you want to go, right? And I have a workbook that accompanies it, a curriculum that people start. They come in wherever you're at. You jump into the workbook wherever you need to be. I do laser coaching each week. I do exercises at the beginning to really get you focused in on what's stopping you. And here's the thing. Yeah, I deal with the how-tos in this group. But the issues that we have as business people and entrepreneurs, and I consider artists to be, entrepreneurs, and they should be business people, are very common and have to do with mindset. So don't be fooled that you're going to go pay somebody to tell you exactly what to do and that's going to work. Chances are you've already tried it. All right. There's nothing wrong with consulting. But the thing about coaching is that as coaches, we are coaching ourselves out of a job. We are teaching you to fish, all right? How to work with your mind, because that is 95% of success. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to be talking about delegating again on Thursday, getting into some finer points. So please feel free to share this video. Please like it. Please subscribe. I will see you again on Thursday.